Hi, my name is Fuji Nguyen. In this video, I'm going to go over the step to upgrade Angular project from version 15 to version 16. I'm also going to run the Angular CLI to convert components into the standalone. Let's get started. So I'm going to show on my desktop here. The application consists of Angular front end, the web API backend, and the Duende identity server for the token service. So here is the web API. This is set up in the .NET 7. I'm going to go ahead and run it. And I will post the link to the web API project in the description of the video, YouTube video. So here you can see the web API is running now. It has two resources here for the REST API. One is called the employees. The other one is the positions. I'm not going to do the detail of this web API. Just want to do a demo of this. I just want to point out that there's a web API component of this. If you want to know more about the web API, you can take a look at my blog in the Medium for the Fullstack Angular and .NET. Here is the project for the token service, which is running behind it is the Duende identity server. Let me go ahead and run it as well, just to support the login. And now it's running on the local host. So while that's running, let me switch over to the Angular. So here is the Angular 15, version 15. Right now, to verify this, it is in Angular version 15. One can go to the file called package.json and take a look at the dependency here. So you can see it's Angular code, like right now it's 15. So the objective for this video is to show how to upgrade this to Angular 16. So let's go to my blog online. In the Medium here, I have the instruction to the requirements to before the upgrade. And here is the command to run the upgrade here. Let me go ahead and go straight to the command, this one, ng update, and we're going to upgrade Angular core ISO Angular CLI. I'm going to do the force parameters. The reason is that there's some of the third-party library is not have been upgraded to to support Angular 16 yet. So for it to work, I'm going to have to run the force parameters. Run that. While this one is running, I want you to pay attention to the package.json here, which is open right now. It's a 15, version 15 here. In a minute or so, it's going to change to version 16. Just watch it. So this command ng update Angular /core and then Angular /CLI. I'm not specifying any version to upgrade it to. So now it's just gonna go to the latest, which is the 16.0.1. Today is May 14. There was the Angular version 16 was released on May 3rd, so about approximately 10 days ago. The reason I want to go ahead and do the upgrade here because part of the Angular 16 release, it also released the schematic to help developer to migrate the code component to the standalone one. And so that's, I thought I'd give this go ahead and upgrade this project here, and then we'll take a look at how to use the Angular CLI to upgrade a component to standalone. So right now I have identified the Angular library, and it's some display on the screen right here say it's gonna upgrade version 15 to version 16. So give us a few minutes to do that. So what is a standalone component? In the prior version, when we have a component create in Angular, we have to tie it to a module. So it's with a standalone component, it can be defined so that it doesn't have to tie to a given module. And with that architectures, we could have a more loosely coupled between the component and the module. That's kind of what for those who've been working with like .NET framework, web form, for example. Back then we have the concept of users control, and then we have the page. So you can have the user control defined, and then it can be used in many different pages. So in a sense, you can think of now the standalone component, think about like it like a user control, and then the module is like a page. Okay, so the upgrade is completed. As you can see, the package.json right here, prior to this, it user have version 15, now it have version 16. Let's go to this source control tab right here, and let's see if we can locate this package.json and open it. This way you can see that on the left side right here, it have the package.json for Angular 15, and on the right hand side right here is the updated version, so it have version 16 now. Just scroll down and take a look at some of these. As you can see, most of the Angular have been upgraded from 15 to 16 here. Let's see what else it upgrade as part of this ng update. Zone.js, it was version 0.11, now it's 0.13, and this is one of the requirements to run Angular 16. Here's some more development kit upgraded. There's the one more I want to show you is the TypeScript, the library for Angular 15. It was 4.8.4. Now for 16 is upgrade to TypeScript 5.04. All right, so the upgrade is completed. Let's try to run this and see if it's still working. So we're gonna go ahead and run the ng serve with parameter O. Go ahead and open up the browser. Let's kind of like verify after upgrade to Angular 16, is the application still working? All right, so it's going through the phase generate browser application bundles. So the application should show up now. A few minutes, a second here. Okay, now the application running again. Great. So it's running Angular 16. Let's test out the employee menu here. Yep, it's still working. Go to the position. Yep, it's still working there. Update still work. Delete. Yep, it's working. All right. So now we're going to move on to the next task, which is running the ng client command to upgrade, to convert component into the standalone. So let me go back to my blog here. I specified the command to do that down here in the part 2. All right, so here is a command the running the schematic so that it will help developers to convert a component into a standalone. Let me copy this and go into here. Let me stop running the application. Oh, before doing that, let me go ahead and check in this code right here that we just finished the upgrade. Just in case something go wrong, we can kind of like go back and figure it out. Get this. It's a good idea when you upgrade your Angular project to a newer version. Right now, I create a new features called v16 upgrade right here. So I'm leaving the develop branch alone, and I do frequently commit so that just in case something wrong, I can just ignore and then go back to previous step that I know working. All right, so now we're gonna run this command called ng generate Angular core standalone. So this is the Angular, the dev team create this special utility to help developer to convert components into a standalone. Let me go ahead and run this. Okay, so now it's looking at examining the project now, and it have three options. One is like convert all components, directive, and pipe to standalone. The second option is remove unnecessary ng module classes. This is the project I've been working on for demos. I know there's none ng modules that hanging around there not used. The last option here is to bootstrap the application using standalone API. So I want to run this one first. As you know, most of the Angular application, we have the, let me see, app module right here to help with bootstrap the application. And it have a lot of import and also, you know, declare the providers in here. The new way of Angular to do the standalone components, it would not need to have the app.module, but the file command.ts right here, I'm going to bootstrap the app component directly. Okay, so this bootstrap the application using standalone API is going to help to complete that task, which is get rid of the app modules right here. So let's go ahead and run that. I just kind of highlighted right here so you can see that what is there. Let me open up the main.ts so you can see, you know, what code change is going to go in here when I use the option called bootstrap the application using standalone API. Go ahead and do that. You're going to ask the question now, which path in your project should be migrated? You're going to accept the default there. All right, so it runs some report right here. Say, hey, it's deleting the app.module right here. It makes some update of the main.ts, app component ts, and some other component in here. So the Angular CLI, the schematic update there is smart enough to make code changes and remove obsolete code. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and see if we can run this application again and make sure it's still working. Yep, it's still working, so that's good. All right, let's go back to this and look at the next part of the so we just update the bootstrap of the Angular application. Do not use app module anymore. I'm gonna run this command again And at this time, I'm going to select the option, just say go ahead and update all of the component into the standalone within the project, all the component within the project. See. So imagine if your project have, you know, like hundred of components, and you want to go ahead and upgrade to the standalone, and you're gonna do that one component at a time, and had to examine, you know, the component dependency and put that in the import. So let's take a look at these. The one that have been one app component right here have been upgraded, right? So if you have a module components out there, you have to go in and standalone, mark it to true, adding it, and then figure out all the dependency and put it into the imports right here. That's gonna be a lot of work, especially if you have hundreds and hundreds of components. So now I'm gonna run this ng generate Angular core standalone again, but this time I'm gonna select the option, say convert all components, directives, and pipes to standalone. I'm gonna select that option. And it says which path in your project should be migrated. Just accept the default. Let's see, let's open up one of the home components here. Let's see what change is gonna do. Okay, so home component now have a standalone. Let's look at some other component. I have many component in the features right here, like position. Let's look at the detail. So this magic command right here have convert all of the component within the project into market as a standalone. And the magic part of this is that it's in the import arrays right here. It automatically figure out what are the dependency and put it in here. So this is a great developer productivity tool provided by Angular team, and this is very good features here. All right, so now all of the components have been converted to the standalone. Let's go back to the application and run it again and see, make sure that it's still working. ng serve with the open parameters, open browser parameters here. That's 0. Great. So Angular has been upgraded to version 16. All of the components have been converted to the standalone. And is the application still working? So in summary, the process to upgrade to Angular from 15 to 16 pretty straightforward. Just like, you know, we been upgrade Angular before from 14 to 15 using the ng update, and also with the new schematic provided by Angular team, updating all the components within the project, including Bootstrap, the application to use component, is pretty straightforward. So that's it